Level 1, White Belt Chaos. The bottom of the barrel. Day 1 rookies who think kicking looks easy because they watched Cobra Kai twice. You walk in wearing your brand new dobok, bow wrong, stand in the wrong spot, and somehow manage to kick yourself in the face trying a roundhouse. These guys can't hold a proper stance for more than 10 seconds. Their legs are shaking, their balance is non-existent, they throw a front kick and nearly fall over. You ask them to do a side kick and they give you something that looks like they're trying to stomp a really tall bug. If you started training today with zero experience, you'd fit right in here. No shame in it, we all start somewhere. But you need to understand, watching action movies does not make you Bruce Lee. That spinning kick you saw? Yeah, you're gonna eat Matt trying that. Level 1's where reality hits you harder than any opponent ever will. Level 2, Yellow Belt Survivors. Unlike Level 1, you're actually stuck around for a few months. You can throw basic kicks without your instructor having to physically move your legs into position. Front kick? Got it. Roundhouse? Sort of. You know what a chamber is now, even if you forget to use it half the time. Level 2 includes people who've learned their first pumse and still can maybe get through without blanking halfway through. They're still counting the moves out loud under their breath. 1, 2, 3, wait, what comes after that block again? These folks are doing okay in class, but put them in sparring, and suddenly they're a deer in headlights. They apologize after every point scored against them like they just stepped on someone's shoes at a party. The techniques are there, barely. They can throw a decent roundhouse to the body pad when they've warmed up and think clearly, but ask them to do it after running laps when they're tired and breathing hard, and suddenly that perfect form disappears. Welcome to Level 2, where everything you know goes out the window the second your heart rate goes up. Problem is, they're still thinking too much. Everything's deliberate and slow. They can perform the technique when someone calls it out, but throw any unpredictability into the mix and they freeze. It's like knowing the words to a song versus actually being able to sing it. Two different things. Before we hit Level 3, do yourself a favor and subscribe. You're clearly into this stuff and it keeps the whole journey going. Level 3, Green Belt Grinders. Alright, now we're talking about people who've been training for close to a year. You've moved into intermediate territory. You can spar without panicking. Your kicks have actual power behind them now. You've learned multiple pumse and can perform them without your brain completely shutting down. But here's the thing about Level 3. You're decent in the dojang, terrible in the real world. You can handle yourself in controlled sparring where everyone's following the rules, but the second someone doesn't play by the script, you're back to square one. You've got the techniques, but you haven't really pressure tested them yet. Level 3 is where people get comfortable and stop pushing. They show up to class, go through the motions, get their next belt eventually. They're not bad, they're just coasting. It's like that student who does enough to pass but never really tries for an A. Functional, but nothing special. And honestly, most people plateau right here. They get to green or purple belt, decide they're good enough, and never push past it. Which is fine if you're just here for fitness, but if you're actually wanting to get good at this, Level 3 is a danger zone. Level 4, Blue Belt Beasts. Time to start talking about people who can actually handle themselves. You've put in real work now. We're talking a year and a half to 2 years of consistent training. You've tested for multiple belts, worked through complicated pumse, and your sparring doesn't look like flailing anymore. What separates Level 4 from Level 3 is pressure. Blue belts can perform under stress. You throw them into competition sparring with someone they've never met, and they'll adapt. Not perfectly, but they won't fall apart. They understand distance, timing, and how to set up combinations. They're not just throwing random kicks, hoping something lands. These practitioners have taken enough hits to develop real defensive instincts. They can read telegraphed attacks, they can know when to counter and when to get the hell out of range. They've developed enough conditioning that 3 rounds of sparring doesn't leave them gasping for air. But Level 4 still has gaps. They're strong in their comfort zone, weak outside of it. Give them a wrestling heavy opponent or someone who fights unconventionally, and they struggle. They're good at Taekwondo, but they haven't figured out how to adapt it yet. They're like a really good cover band that sounds perfect when they're playing the hits, but the second you request something off script, they're lost. Level 5, Red Belt Dangers. Everyone from this level on is someone you don't want problems with. Whether you respect them or not, their skill's legit. They've been training for 2 to 3 years minimum, probably testing for their black belt soon. They've mastered advanced pumse, complicated kick combinations, and they can teach lower belts without making them worse. Level 5s have developed their own style within the framework. They're not just copying their instructor anymore, they understand the principles behind the techniques, so they can improvise. You give them a situation they haven't trained specifically for, and they'll figure it out by applying what they know. Here's what's crazy about level 5. These people have put in serious mat time. They've been kicked in the head enough times to respect every opponent. They've competed, won some, lost some, learned from both. They've probably broken a few boards, maybe a toe or two along the way. The only thing holding them back from being elite is consistency at the highest levels. They're dangerous, real dangerous, but put them against someone who's dedicated their life to this and it's still a coin flip. They're in that awkward middle ground between really good and elite. Level 6 Black Belt Excellence. This is where things get real. Level 6 practitioners have earned their black belt, probably first or second dan. 3 to 5 years of dedicated training, countless hours drilling, sparring, competing. These are the people teaching classes, running seminars, breaking boards with techniques that would hospitalize a normal person. What makes level 6 special is the depth of understanding. They don't just know techniques, they understand body mechanics, weight transfer, how to generate maximum power with minimum effort. They can watch a lower belt struggle and immediately diagnose what's wrong. Their kicks flow together naturally. There's no pause between defense and counter. Everything is one smooth motion. Level 6s can hold their own against fighters from other disciplines. You put a black belt Taekwondo practitioner against a boxer, a wrestler, someone from a different style, and they'll adapt their approach. They've studied enough to understand how different fighting methods work. They know a boxer's going to try to close distance and work the body. They know a wrestler's going to shoot for takedowns. They've developed strategies to deal with both. But here's the catch. Most level 6s are sport-focused. They're exceptional in Taekwondo competition, but the transition to full MMA is a different beast entirely. That's what separates good from legendary. Level 7 MMA Evolution. Master level is stupid rare when we're talking about Taekwondo fighters who've successfully transitioned to complete mixed martial artists. We're talking about guys like Anthony Pettis, who earned his 3rd degree black belt before 18 and became a UFC champion with that legendary Showtime kick. Anderson Silva, 5th degree black belt who dominated the middleweight division for years using Taekwondo mixed with Muay Thai. Rose Namajunas, who started at 5, earned her black belt at 9 and became one of the most well-rounded fighters in women's MMA. Yera Rodriguez, pure Taekwondo at its finest, pulling off spinning attacks that shouldn't work but somehow do. Masters haven't just kept Taekwondo in their back pocket, they've integrated it into a complete fighting system. They've added wrestling, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, boxing, Muay Thai. They understand that the flashy spinning kicks from Taekwondo work in MMA, but only when you've gotten the grappling to back it up. You can't throw a tornado kick if you're worried about getting taken down. You can't commit to a head kick if you don't know how to defend submissions on the ground. That's what took years to figure out. Traditional martial artists don't suck, they just need to evolve. What separates masters from everyone else is they see the whole picture. They know when to use traditional Taekwondo, when to abandon it completely, when to mix it with other styles. They've proven their Taekwondo works at the highest level of competition against people actively trying to hurt them. Not in a dojang with rules, in a cage where anything goes. These people have shaped how the entire world views Taekwondo and modern combat sports. When historians talk about martial arts evolution 50 years from now, these are the names that'll get mentioned. They took a traditional striking art and proved it belongs in the most brutal sport on earth. That's a master. But if you're already training in Taekwondo, you need to figure out what kind of student you are. There are 7 types, and you're definitely one of them. Now, if you really enjoyed watching this video, then like it and consider subscribing to the channel, as we'll be soon bringing up more anticipated and exciting content soon in this channel. I'll see you later.